Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, where today I'm having a look at a new game from Unstable Games, Fishy, Squishy, Crusty, Quirky. And yes, I have to say it like that because otherwise I can't say it. A bit of a ridiculous naming game at least, where you are trying to catch a bunch of fish and serve them up as lovely meals. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the table to have to set up on plate. Alright, let's get the box open here. Just a tiny little box. And of course, the rule sheet they always do, which folds out like so. One of the few things I hate about this company. Alright, so it's easy to see the background. You have all these ones that are blue on the back. These are the fish cards that will be used in one pile. Then you have these here, these are fishermen's that will be used in one pile. Then you have the order cards, some red and some blue background. Okay, start off with the fisherman here. Shuffle up, of course, put in a pile, and then the first top three, not the first top three, whatever. The first three will be flipped over side like this. Alright, now here comes the annoying part as well. These ones need to be split into four groups of 19. I'm just going to assume I did it correctly. The top three of each card pile will be turned face up, and then you sort of have to try and shuffle it in so the face up cards gets more mixed in with the face down cards. Let's do that for all of them. Okay, that is done. And then we have these order cards, which will also be shuffled up, and the top three will be pulled in here. And you have these special order catch of the day cards, which will be shuffled in and in a random order be put face up. And now we're ready to play. We'll start with zero cards in hand. And on your turn, you go through 4 phases to do. You can always skip one, but you can never go back. So the first phase is hiring. You look at the top three, the 3 face-up cards on this one. Read what they do, and if they do something that is useful to you, then you can hire them in, and at the end of the turn you throw them out, because you only have them for that one turn. This one is probably the one that's going to be skipped the most, because sometimes they're just unusual, like in the start here. Well, this one could be decent actually. During your flip phase, move the top cards. But yeah, during your fulfill, you fulfill a standard order. Probably I'm going to take that right away, because you're not going to fulfill a standard order right away. You have this one. During your fulfill, use 2 sea creature cards with a point value of 5. Again, you're not going to have 2 in hand at the same time, so yeah. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to use these right from the beginning. But that's the first flip. The next one is flip. This is if you have some cards in hand that are turning away from you, you can flip one of them to face you. Now, how do we get some cards in hand? It's in the drawing phase. You can either take 2 face down cards from any pile, also from both piles. Most of them are just completely blue. You have no idea what's hiding in there. But this one does show you that it's a Crusty, so an orange card. Because there are 4 cards types. They're the orange, yellow, purple, and the blue. That's just what I'm gonna call them throughout here. It's also, as you can see here, the blue Fishy, Squishy, Crusty, Quirky. It's the name of the game. Hey, you can also choose if there's a face-up card just to draw that one, but it will be the only one you're getting. And another thing is, if some opponents have some cards that are facing towards you, you can take that card and the opponent will draw a face-down card to replace it. And then in the end you will fulfill orders. That's the final phase. All these orders here takes just one type of cards for a minimum of 15 points value, and you have one of each. And those will just rotate throughout. But you also have these over here, which most of them will have multiple requirements. So this one takes both Squishy and Crusty cards for a total value of 20. Now let's say I had these two. So I have this requirement, but not the points requirement of 20. I could absolutely take a, where is it at? Something there. I could take this one and add in here, because now it's 20, so I am living up to this. This is not like you can only use these, it's just you at least has to use these. And of course this one over here. I fulfill this order, I get $1. And if these cards are put in here, this order card is put at the bottom, and a new one is drawn out. Now I say get $1. That's of course the one part of the setup I've forgotten. This entire pile of wooden sand dollars just put within reach. In this instance, I get 1. Yay! In a 2 and 3 player game, it's up to 5 to win, no, it's 7 to, I can't remember. Hold on, where is it at? How to win. 2 to 4 players, you need to collect 7. 5 or 6, you need to collect 5 sand dollars to win. That's how you win. But yeah, that's what you do. Let me just give an example. So maybe in the previous turn I'd drawn this up. Now on my turn, I can flip this over, right? That's the flip action. This one is a multicolored joker. You can use that for anything. But yeah, it's very simple. I think I've explained everything. Let's get back to the table. And there we have the setup and gameplay of it. The setup wise is simple enough. It's just 3-4 different piles of cards that needs to be shuffled up and distributed. It takes a little bit with, you know, the fish cards that needs to, the blue water card. 3 piles of 19, flip over the top 3, shuffle them up. It takes a little bit of time there. I'm probably going to cut something out in terms of that setup, because it does take a little bit of time, but not too long. It's not over difficult. And then you have the gameplay itself, which essentially is fairly easy. You're trying to get some fish cards from the market using fishermen with special knowledge, some special knowledge and special abilities to help you out to get the better fish, to serve up the best dishes and make some money. Lovely to say that it's just making money, that is the most important part. But what of course makes this one a little bit funny is that if you draw a card that is chase, you are going to draw it straight up. So if its back is turned to you, you're getting it with the back turned to you, and then you have to flip it around. That is of course the part that is that's the funny part, you know. The trying to navigate this thing. And of course that means if you take them like that, you get more cards, but you don't know what you have just yet. And that's the quirky part of the game. Essentially the game's gameplay is fairly simple, which is not a bad thing. I always love Unstep games for making these simple and fun games. And I think this is a simple and fun game. You know, hire some fishermen and trying to complete these orders, and then this quirky thing of I have to flip them. We totally forgot to do it at some points to keep them away and forgetting. So that little quirkiness is a funny addition to it. But overall it is of course fairly simple, completing these orders, living up to the... I mean, even saying when some of the orders have, you know, abilities you need to use a Squishy and a Crusty for this one, you can use a Fishy to up the tempo. I would probably play with the house rule saying, no, if it requires Squishy and Crusty, you use only Squishy and Crusty. Because the other stuff is it makes it a little bit more boring, right? It makes it a little bit less challenging. It would be a little bit more fun if, you know, these are the ones you're allowed to use this dish. Done. Like the catch of the day order cards, where you can only use one type to try and achieve them and make some money from them. You also have the ones where it's like it just needs to be 4 of the same type or 4 of the same point value, which is these little dishes that are there. Fairly interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's a fairly simple and fun game that goes over fairly quickly. So that's the gameplay of it. Let's go quickly. Components. I mean, I love the dollar sandals. This one, it's actual wooden tokens. What an amazing thing to put in such a small game. The cards are fine quality. The artwork is funny, cute little artwork, making each of the fishermen are distinct and it doesn't look alike. The dishes look pretty damn good. I mean, not critter kitchen levels, but pretty damn good. So yeah, those are components. Theming is that's the thing with the game's not super thematic. I mean, you're trying to catch some fish and serve them up on dishes, and you don't know what you catch until you get it or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, the theming is fine, but it's not something that I'm going to elevate it to. So, does it lie to you? 2 to 6 players, ages 7 and up, 30 to 60 minutes gameplay. So that 2 to 6 players, probably fairly accurate. I haven't played it at 5 or 6. It's just been 3 or 4 players. So exactly if it goes that high and still feels fairly good, I don't know. It would be interesting because you could have a large swap in your hands, but without knowing what you've lost, if it was better or worse what you now have in hand, so to speak. So maybe it doesn't, like many others where you draw a card in there, feel like, oh, the things I want to get, it gets lost and I can't plan anything, because you usually can't plan anything in this game anyways. Maybe it doesn't do that. But I could imagine at higher play counts it would be very drawn out. I mean, even at 3 or 4 players it feels fairly long. It's just 7 up, probably. You just need to get a hang of that thing with turning the cards away from you. That can be a little bit difficult to grasp. I mean, it's very different from what you usually do. So that is, you need to adjust for that, but other than that, it's fine. And then 30 to 60 minutes, yeah, probably. I mean, again, if you go for a higher play count, it's gonna be a bit longer, but it's gonna feel like twice the length. That's probably a fairly downside of this one. It feels a lot longer than what it actually is. And also talking about the gameplay, you have these 4 things you can do. Most of your turns you're going to do only 1, maybe 2 of them. Very few times you're going to do all 4. But this thing, you are usually just going to do 1 or 2 of the things. Means that it gets a little bit boring, right? You can't really build up to have large turns, because then you're done. You're only going to do nothing next turn if you have a large turn. So you want to have semi-decent turns every time. So yeah, that's a downside. It feels a lot longer than it actually is. But what is my final going rating going to be? It's going to be a simple 7 out of 10. It's a simple little card game with a little quirkiness to it, with the card where you draw up the cards and have to flip them over and stuff. But overall, I do like it. I would definitely play it again. It's one of those games where it's not gonna be my favorite game of all time. It's not gonna be the greatest or whatever, but it's still gonna be a fun game that probably makes it into my board game bag, bring to game nights quite often, and it will probably get to the table a few times. So yeah, that's a great little game, and of course, I am keeping it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.